Someone said I should use more props, so market update, March edition. Here we go. Hello and welcome to another edition of Ideal with Neil News Market Update. Hope everyone survived the weekend and the crazy snowstorm that we had. It was a bit of a shock for me considering a week before I was down in Florida, 30-degree weather, golfing and enjoying my time at the beach. So quite the difference there this past weekend. Anyhow, we all got ourselves dug out and on to hopefully spring weather coming sooner or later. So just wanted to also mention last week had the opportunity to go to Toronto. Royal LePage had their awards gala, and I was fortunate enough to be invited. As I had mentioned a couple months ago, I had an amazing year last year. Again, all thanks to all those who helped me out with referrals and that sort of thing. But so I placed fairly decently in amongst other realtors in Ontario, and so I was grateful. We went down, had a great time, and was recognized that way. So so it was a lot of fun. This last few weeks has been interesting in the market, to say the least. I would say that as much as a year ago, things were crazier than ever. We saw the last half of last year really kind of tighten up and slow down. But just in the last few weeks, we've started to see a little bit more activity as far as more showings, more offers, more multiple offers, a few more holds on offers, if you're familiar with that, all those types of things. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened in February using the Market Stats program from our system. Okay, let's check out the Market Stats brought to you by InfoSparks. So we're here again. We are Waterloo region, all types of products. Let's look at the average sale price. So if we go back to January, average sale price was at $763,000. And as we jump by the end of February, it was $759,000. So it dropped a little bit there over the course of the month. If we look at our new listings here, as we saw, they were on the way up from December. January, we had 583. And February, we were up to 671 new listings. So that was helpful. And then when we look at our actual homes for sale, again, keep in mind those were new listings. In January, we were at 658. And then again, with the more new listings, up to 692 by the end of February. Sales themselves, we can see that, January, as I mentioned, pretty low relative to last year. What was it, down 44% over last year? And so sales were 299, a bump up, actually, a decent bump up to 441 for February. And that was kind of expected. We knew things were very slow in December, and things started picking up in January and certainly continued through February as we kind of anticipated, heading into the spring market. So that's, I guess, a good sign that things we're picking up a little bit that way. And certainly I've seen that as well in my day-to-day. It's interesting. You read the headlines in the paper I have over the last few days, and it talks about, sales down, prices down, that sort of thing, down, down, down. But you have to remember, again, that's all relative to, basically what happened a year ago with all of the craziness, and certainly the part that went down had already started last March in through July, and things have been relatively stable since last July. So I find those headlines to be a little bit, not really representing what things are like right now. Let's take a look at days on the market. So the average days on the market here in January were 25 days. And all of a sudden we see in February 20 days, so 5 days less. And that probably kind of coincides with what I've been seeing in this past month, where I'm starting to see a bit more in the multiple offer type scenarios, and a few more holds of people, listing and not looking at offers for a week type of thing that had kind of, disappeared for most of the second half of last year. And all of a sudden starting to see that creep in a little bit more. I had that myself on one of my listings last week. So we'll continue to watch that and see. And I suspect that when I look at the next one, percentage of original price, the average here, yeah, as we see here. So in January, it was 100.2. And all of a sudden now we're for February 102.4. So now the average sale price is going 2.4% above asking here in February. And so certainly, again, that certainly jives with what I've been seeing with more multiple offers and prices starting to go above ask on on a lot of properties, quite frankly. I mean, not everything for sure, not like a year ago, but it's definitely been happening. So that's a quick little look at the the info sparks, the market stats, just so you can see that graphically, what's been happening here in February. Okay, so let's drill down on the average sale prices a little bit here. As I mentioned, the average sale price for all products sold on the Waterloo Region Board in February was $758,000, and that was down 0.6% versus January. So not a huge change there. As far as single detached homes, we were at 877, and that was again a decrease of 0.9%. So relatively stable that way. Townhomes, average sale price was $642, and that was actually an increase of 2.7 over January. So townhomes picked up a little bit there. Apartment style condos, so that was $461,000, and that was a decrease of 6.9% relative to January. So we'll continue to watch that and see what happens with apartment condos. I know there's a lot of inventory. There's a heck of a lot of new builds of apartment condos that are coming to market. So we'll just kind of have to watch and see where that goes. Semis, average sale price was $667. And that, like the townhomes, was up a little bit, 2.6% month over month. Again, I'm not really concerned about year over year because we all know what happened in that March to July time period last year. So of course, year over year, the numbers are going to be pretty staggering as far as the decreases. But that's I think important to focus on what's going on right now in the market. So that's your average sale prices there, and from here we'll continue to monitor. Certainly, like I said, as we approach the or kind of getting into the spring market here, the next few months, I expect more inventory. I also expect more sales. I think from what we've heard about, interest rates are going to remain relatively stable here over the coming months. So I know there's a lot of pent-up demand from buyers, so I expect them to continue to come out in full force. We'll just have to see what happens as far as things like holding off on offers. Certainly, just like I mentioned over the last few weeks, starting to see a bit more of that, and multiple offers, as we saw in the market stats there. They're starting to lend itself to prices going over asking a bit more again. So I'll just keep monitoring that, and we'll see what happens a month from now. We'll let you know what's happening there. In the meantime, thanks again for all your referrals. Really appreciate it. If there's any way I can help anyone, if you know of anyone who's looking to buy or sell, please by all means reach out, and I'd be glad to help. Take care. I think that's it, and bye for now.